Welcome to Samuelsdottir channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuelsdottir, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
Used to a man.
I'm a PhD.
Why would you have a woman who's an office manager or an administrator or HR not of use to a man? Why would you have one of these creatives that's not of use to a man, an entrepreneur? All these things on paper, and these are the things that women often say they bring to the table. You ask the average woman what they bring to the table, the first thing they're going to say is their education and their income. This is why we don't care, ladies, because we can't use it. We can't use it. You bring it and you say, look at it, here it is. But no. You can't use that. It's bait and switch is what it is. It's like we'll jingle it in front of you, but then we'll say you can't use it. Then why should we care? Modern women are losing because you can't use them. If you can't use her, she's losing. Get the likes up, people. We should have another 1,000 likes. Okay. 30 seconds. And the chat room goes away. What good is a woman you can't use, ladies? Ladies, if a man can't use you, what good are you? If you're not a feminine asset, you are of no use to a man. If you're not a feminine asset, you're of no use to a man. Why? Because it is just like having a car, a sports car, with no engine in it. It looks good. It's useless. A sports car on 4 flats, it's useless.
Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be another monologue from Mr. Samuels. Now, I find the monologues just as interesting, just as useful as a learning tool as the conversations with the ladies who used to call into his show, as well as gentlemen who called him. So, yeah, it's always food for thought. And as such, I will let him do most of the talking. I shall interject here and there, YouTube rules and all that. But the goal is for you to hear his words from his own mouth. And perhaps I should put in a little bit of my interpretation of what he's saying. So here goes.
If a man cannot use you, you are useless to us. Why is this so hard to understand? And why don't modern women want to be used by men? Because they don't trust you. They have been told that you are the enemy. They have been told that you as a man are the source of all things bad. I was listening to a playback of, remember when Kay Michelle was talking about how she said that in her opinion, she believes that men are bad people. Yeah, this is about a year or so ago. And when asked about this, she said, well, I'm the woman that other women come and pour their heart out to. I've heard some of the worst stories from women about the way men treat women. But see, over here, we don't just believe what people say. We question what they say. And over here, we find out more often than not, there's more to the story. But if you automatically go under the umbrella of men are bad people, men are to be looked out for, you can't trust them, they're going to hurt you, abuse you, or whatever, why are you going to go into any interaction with mankind in an open way? By definition, if you can't be used, you're not feminine. Feminine women are useful women. Masculine women are not useful. Masculine women are competitors. This is why when you sit around and deal with a masculine woman, you feel drained. It's because you're actually in conflict with these women. Well, hold on. I know there are going to be plenty of women out there saying that's fine and dandy, Kevin, but I can't put my guard down or whatever because I got to pay bills, such and so forth. Here's the answer. Fabian, I told you this. Ladies, here's the solution. Here's the solution. You already got your education. You're already out here and working. You feel like you're too far down the path. Here is the solution. Here is the solution to be of use to a man. Here's the solution to be of use to men. Here's the solution to show men with your actions that you are serious about becoming and maintaining your femininity as a woman and becoming a wife, mother, and useful to men. Here's the solution. You ready, ladies? Ready?
Ready as can be, Mr. Samuels. And I'll tell you something else. Thank you for that little piece of advice you gave just 2 minutes ago in your monologue. When I am ready, tempted to fight with a man, either physically, I am not very strong, but sometimes I'm tempted, or verbally, or in writing, whatever it is, when I'm tempted to go into conflict with a man, I shall remember your words and remind myself that I'm supposed to be a lady, a feminine lady at that. It's not in my role, it's not my place to fight with men. I can still achieve what I want in a different way. And that way is the feminine way. We'll go into that another time, not in this video. But anyway, just to declare, I shall always remember I'm supposed to be feminine. And that's a nice thing to be for a woman, that is. So thank you, Mr. Samuels. Now I shall listen to you.
Decrease your standard of living to average. Oh, shit. Decrease your standard of living. Think about it. What do you mean, decrease your standard of living? Yes, decrease your standard of living to average. Decrease your standard of living to average to where you are, if you're making $60,000, $70,000 a year, fine. Decrease your standard of living down to 40,000. This is a suggestion I make to women all the time. Stop living at your income. Start living at your sexual marketplace value. Oh, but no. That is intolerable for a lot of women. That is intolerable for a lot of women. Why? Why is it intolerable for a lot of women? Because in places they don't want to admit, they like the power and freedom. Women like the feeling of being able to go to La Colonial, to Mastro's, to Ruth Chris, to whatever. They don't mind being in debt because they honestly think that they are the special snowflake that everything's going to just work out for. They don't have to plan. It'll just work. And ladies, it won't unless you are planning to get with a man. Now, I've already been posting it out there. And let me talk about this while I'm at it. I posted the Chris Rock up and it said, A man is only as faithful as his options. And I said, basically, successful men cheat. Let me say this, guys. Let me say this to the men who keep deciding to jump in and pull your cape out virtue signal. Shut up. If you're a guy who don't agree with it, if you're a guy that don't cheat, just shut up. Because other men don't want to hear you saying, I don't do that. It ain't about you, homeboy. It's about getting women to understand that it is better for them to accept men as we are, whether men choose to cheat or not. Stop always jumping on posts and shit, trying to be counter for Scooby goddamn snacks. Well, it all depends on your morals in this. I don't cheat. Shut up. You're not helping. It is far more helpful if women today had the mindset of women 50, 70, 100 years ago. Boys will be boys. It's just something guys do. As long as it doesn't cause any problems. We're going to have this duked out, guys, one day. But I would tell you over here, if you're not helping level set women, if you're providing, well, no, ladies, such and so forth, it seems like you're dirty macking as far as we're concerned. If you don't cheat, so what? I don't cheat, but I'm still going to tell women that men are basically as faithful as their options, because in my opinion, it is far better for women to understand male nature. It's a possibility, and make peace with it, versus trying to control men. That's one of the problems. Men today are so tired of having everything that it is to be a man be bad. Toxic masculinity. You think about sex and you listen that men are tired of being told that we're bad, to the point to where now they're hell with it. Ladies, if you don't want a man to cheat, get a woman. Buy a dog, die alone. Well, I'll get an average man. So what? We know how that goes. All right. Well, I told you guys to get the likes up. Why is this important? Because if we're going to be honest, I'm going to tell you, the kind of caliber of men that I know and I talk about and I refer to are really disgusted that they can't have women today that understand how much better we could do if you let us use you. But it's going to have to be a choice. Women today, this is why I hear all these college educated women, especially black women. Let me lower my tone. Let me lower my tone and let's get into this. All right. let me do this. All right. Let me lower the tone. All right. Black women. College educated black women. It is far better if you would allow yourself to be used by us. Your degree in marketing, your connections in the neighborhood, everything that you have, we could take it and do wonderful things with it, and you would share in everything. We would do more with it than you could ever possibly imagine.
My understanding is that Mr. Samuels is not at all against college education for women. Not at all. He's not a man who wishes for life in the dark ages for women. Not at all. I think he's saying just be cooperative with a man. If you have a high education and it's therefore financially going to benefit the family, use it for the family. Don't use it as a stick to beat your man. Use it with him for him to build up your entire family, your structure, your home. I think that's a nice thought, isn't it? I think there are many college-educated women nowadays, and I think it's a good thing. I'm not at all a feminist. I don't think that women should use their education just for themselves. I think it should be used to benefit the whole family, children, as well as the husband. I know several African cultures where if a woman is highly educated, that is actually prized. It's very much prized because the woman is not pumped up and full of self-importance. She is happy that she can do something to help the family. She prioritizes the family, and if there's something she could use, like her education, to benefit that family, she uses it with good grace and pleasure. And I think this is what's missing in the West. It's not about the education itself, it's about what a woman does with it. And if Mr. Samuels is saying that a man could use that, he doesn't need it, but if he could use it in the event that you have it, by all means, present it to him. Use it with him. I think that's the beauty of sharing different skills in a partnership, in a team. And a relationship, a marriage, should be, of course, a team. That's what's nice about relationships. I've talked too much, as usual. Let's continue.
And this is what other groups of women understand. They allow themselves to be used by their men, and that's their upfront investment. And they have enough trust and faith in their men that their men are going to do something valuable with it. If you don't trust the average black man, then go get a non-black man. Because we require that from you as women. We require using you. Think about it. If you're an entrepreneur, if you own a business, you know how to do everything for yourself. But there is one thing: you cannot grow a one-person business. In order to be as successful as possible, you must scale. And in order to scale, you have to bring on personnel. And this is the problem most people have. They would rather make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 with no employees than make $500,000 with employees, because they don't want to deal with people. Now we're going somewhere. If you want to become as successful as possible, you're going to have to learn how to work with people. And that's us. You ladies can work with one another pretty good, but you cannot work with us. And we are not going to continue to ask you to let us use you. We will find another woman. And you ladies can say what you like, that, oh, well, he wasn't for me, or this or that. I know the truth. I sit down and talk to you every day. And the truth is, it bothers you. It bothers you being single, educated, smart, accomplished, alone in your 30s. It bothers you. Every day I hear you. If I had my camera on, every day I am talking to women 29 to 45 years old who are really looking at life saying, on paper, my life should be incredible. I look good, I smell good, I'm in good shape, I went to this school, I did this, but I am chronically alone. It's because femininity, by its very nature, is useful to men. Let's get into the next part of it. Turn off the music. If you have a bunch of men in your friend zone and you are single as French toast, you are not feminine. Why? Because you are basically. Hold on. Think about all the women I'm describing. In Atlanta, this is all over the place in Atlanta. College educated professional women who are unmarried, connected, and got so many men in their friend zone. Your husband is in your friend zone. Because you're not picking men based upon connection. You're picking men based upon chemistry. And in this regard, I'm going to be as pragmatic as possible. I say dating is dumb and you need to start picking people based upon the numbers. But, especially in our culture, in our community, the women have been told, convinced that Jesus or God will send them the right man and they just got to hold out. No. Your husband is likely 7 to 15 years older than you, shorter than you, less attractive than you, but everything you need. Women in your 20s, if you're between the age of 23 and 27, ladies, your husbands are probably about 40 years old. If you're 25, your husband is likely 40. Ooh, I know I just ran into, oh, they're about to get mad at me. What? Yeah. If you're not of childbearing age, if you're over 35, then you can actually get with somebody closer to your years. Let's open the call line though. Why are women so afraid of, why are you ladies today so afraid of letting a man use you? Why don't you ladies want to let a man use you? I've switched to the members only chat room because I let you guys do what you're going to do. First off, no. We're going to need at least 30 more people to hit that super chat because I appreciate the big donations. But when people put big donations in there, what a lot of folks do is they think, oh, everybody else has got it. No, put $2 in there. Put $5 in there, ladies, because believe it or not, trying to help you guys out. And these focus groups don't pay for themselves.
It's a good point he makes, Mr. Samuels. If a woman can think to herself, how can I be useful to a man? How can I make myself attractive to a man? She's already a winner because, as in any kind of market, if you can see to the demand, you win. You make a profit. It's the same concept here. If you can, no matter how little help or use you can be to someone who's looking for the skill you have, the particular capabilities that you possess, then you are onto a winner. There is always something that you have that is being sought by someone else. In the case of man-woman relationship, there is always something that a person, in this case a man, would find attractive in a woman. I think there are many things, it doesn't have to be your education. It could be some other thing, I think it's all about just making available your unique selling point to someone else. Basically, Mr. Samuels is speaking to the selfishness of women. If you're so egotistical that you want to keep all your skills, all your attributes just for yourself, I think that's pretty sad, because then everyone will leave you to it. And there will come a time when you will think, wouldn't it be nice to share this with someone? But then it might be too late. So while you have it, while it's fresh, use your products for the benefit of someone else. And you can't go wrong with that idea. So we say thank you to Mr. Samuels for the good advice. We enjoyed his monologue. I wish you all a happy evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is where you are. And I hope that you have grace, peace, happiness, and blessings. Until next time, goodbye for now.